Hey everyone, welcome to the new episode of the 90th Minute. I'm Liam, that is Lucas, and that's Waz. Today we're going to talk about some transfers that's going around through Europe. Key one for us in Canada is Alphonso Davies, the young Canadian international, maybe going to Bayern Munich. But we'll get to that eventually. Lucas, what do you want to start us off with today?
Oh, I'll be a little biased, but I don't know. We signed the most expensive goalie in the world.
Yeah, huge.
Liverpool have signed
Oh, wow.
Alisson.
Most expensive. Wow, so good.
I mean, he is good. He's proven.
He's no David De Gea.
I mean, hey, let's be honest here. Liverpool, we all said at the end of last season, Liverpool's weakest spot was goaltending.
Oh, one of the weakest spots.
I think the weakest spot.
I wouldn't say so.
Where would you say is the weakest spot for Liverpool?
I just lack depth.
Well,
fair.
yeah, but I think starting 11, it's goalkeeper. And they've gone out and bought themselves a proven European high-quality goalkeeper.
He's pretty solid, yeah.
He's really good. What do you mean pretty solid?
He's like the best goalie in Serie A last year.
He's going to be right up there with David De Gea at the end of the season.
Maybe.
He will be.
No, I don't know. De Gea is in a different level.
He's had a bad summer.
I mean, Spain needed to play better for him.
Fair enough.
With Alisson going to Liverpool, it fills a big hole. It's
Mm-hmm.
official. I was just very happy seeing him in a Liverpool
Yeah,
kit.
it's good.
Would you say he's better than Lee Grant?
Like
I mean,
1 million times better than League.
I mean,
I
let's
was
be
watching
honest
the
here.
United match, and Lee Grant looked pretty well, so it's a shame Stoke lost him.
I think the most expensive goal is going to be a bit better than your third string.
Lee Grant just needs a good chance.
No.
Okay.
But
This is going to be big for Liverpool.
It's
They
huge.
signed their fourth big target, which is great for the club. It fills a need, obviously, like we said,
yeah.
and it's gonna. He does speak English too, apparently, so that's a benefit for us. As you don't really want a goalie that doesn't know what the other players are saying to him.
Who have Celtic signed?
Why do you always go to Celtic?
I know, like he blames me then.
Like we're having a good conversation, and then what's Celtic doing?
They haven't really done much, but I mean, let's talk about Liverpool. Let's finish off this point because it's a huge signing for them. It's a great goaltender. It brings a lot of European class to them. You know, maybe this will help them with Champions League.
Help them with Champions League. They made the final.
And goaltending let them down in the final.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, this
But
doesn't mean
okay,
they
but
need
what I'm
help in
saying,
the Champions
of course they
League.
do. What I'm saying is, we don't think Liverpool are going to guaranteed make the Champions League final again, like we do with Bayern or Barcelona or Madrid. You know, those are the three that we go, yeah, they should be in the
They
final.
need more help in the league than anything. I think they've
Well,
been proven in the Champions
and-
League so far.
Well, I think with the signings they've brought in, not only Alisson, but you know, Chieda and Fabinho and everyone, and even Shaqiri. Shaqiri will bring great depth throughout the season, and then Chieda and Fabinho will bring in lots of quality for Champions League or big Premier League matches.
What are you guys' thoughts on him being the most expensive goalie in the world?
I think he's
And
worth
with,
it.
And with that much being spent on a goalkeeper.
I mean, it just shows how the transfer market is nowadays.
I don't like how much was the final sum there? Was it 62 million?
It was 62 million pounds up front, I think.
That's not even that bad. You think when you're playing for a player, like I mean,
N'Golo Kante costed Chelsea like 32 million.
well, yes, but N'Golo Kante is a special man. But no, like you think about like if you're signing decent of midfielder, you're looking at that 60 to 80 million pound mark, right? And I think it's worth it if he can bring, let's say, if he can bring in like a dozen clean sheets throughout the season. If he can bring, because I know Alisson's good ball playing defender.
Goalie.
Or goaltender, sorry. He's a good ball player. And, you know, with Van Dijk ahead of him and, you know, the players they have around him, I think he'll bring a lot of quality and a lot of pace almost to the attack.
Van Dijk scored a bullet of a header today.
Yeah.
He's such a
Against
good defender.
Borussia Dortmund, that was great.
He's so good.
He's really good, yeah.
But
Well
with
done.
There's your Celtic connection.
But with,
What was Celtic all the time? Honestly.
but with one Liverpool goalkeeper to another,
Yeah.
Karius has been getting a lot of abuse today.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm okay with that.
I kind of feel bad for the guy. I kind of want to. What?
I'm okay with him getting abused.
No,
I don't like him.
I want him to see. I want him to go somewhere else now. Like, go to China.
Like-
Get away from everybody.
Like after the game, he did have the third goal for Dortmund in the preseason game. The shot kind of went to him. He didn't really parry it that well.
No.
It went right to a Dortmund player for a goal. And then he probably got a lot of abuse, and because that led to him on Instagram posting to his story saying, "To those who take joy in seeing other people fail or suffer, I feel for you. Whatever it is that's happening in your life, to hold this much anger and hate, I pray that it passes and good things come to you.
Well said.
I mean, it's just a lot of words to say. Don't yell at me.
No, it's just
That's
well
all.
said.
All he's saying is, please don't yell at me.
I mean,
That's all he's saying.
And then Iker Casillas said on Twitter just a couple hours ago saying, will this attack on Karius ever end? I'm talking about him like so many other goalkeepers. There are so many more serious problems in the world.
Yeah.
F word, leave the kid alone. He's also a person, as we are all.
I think what Karius should do is just get off social media.
I think she just started performing on the field.
He performed pretty well throughout the season up until the Champions League final.
I mean,
so
I feel like his
No, but
mind
he-
is gone. Like,
No, but, okay,
Yeah, that's
but
the thing.
even up until the Champions League final, we said yes, he was performing well for Karius, but he wasn't. Like, he wasn't as solid as he should have been. He wasn't as solid as Liverpool needed him to be. That's the bigger thing. He's not the quality of goalkeeper that's going to bring you to a Champions League final every year.
like he played well up to the Champions League final. It's just he's
Exactly.
obviously not the perfect
Like,
goalkeeper.
Yeah,
if he was a backup goalkeeper, maybe he's okay there. But even that, I don't know if he's what Liverpool need.
I think he's a club. You should go to a club like Southampton or like
Yeah.
Stoke.
Well, look at Manchester United. Okay, so David De Gea is their starting goalkeeper, fantastic goal,
Yeah.
best in the world, arguably. But then second to him is Sergio Romero, who starts for Argentina. He's
Well, I think he's a really good.
he's a
goalie.
really good goalkeeper. So he's a solid second string goalie. You look at all these, let's say, top 10 teams in the world. Not only is their starting goalkeeper fantastic, but their backup's also good. Is Karius within the same breath as Romero?
I think
you
he'd
know?
be a great backup.
Yeah, with Karius though, I feel like
I
don't
put
know, a lot
more. I
of
put
peop-
more trust in Karius and Mignolet.
I don't know.
Yeah.
With,
Mignolet can go to like Celtic or something.
Okay. Naff off.
I don't know. With all this happening to Karius, like I don't feel like his head is there. Also, I see a lot of people suggesting this on Twitter. Maybe he should get a loan move back to Germany where there's less pressure on him,
Yeah,
Maybe.
less
Yeah.
eyes or something, or a place where there's less eyes.
How old is Karius? Do you know
He's
offhand?
like 24, 25.
So, I
Oh
mean-
my god.
I mean, yeah,
He's
a
still
loan move could work for him, or even just like a transfer.
Why don't you
Like,
just go to China.
well, no, I don't think he has to go there. I think he could go to
No,
like a German
I
team.
think the
where-
last thing he might want to do is go a step down.
Yeah.
So he wants to maybe stay in the top divisions of Europe.
Yeah,
Because
you
like
know.
he can go to MLS, but he's like, oh, this is where my career is going.
Yeah,
He's gonna even get more hate. People are like, oh, you're going to the MLS now. Oh my god.
Yeah, best thing for him probably is to get somewhere where he can get away from all this hate.
It'd be a good league for him to
Less-
go to. The French league.
I mean, French league is a great league.
not
Waz, I
bad.
don't know what you're talking
It's
about.
it's not the greatest in my mind, but I think it's a great place to
I mean-
restore careers.
I agree with you. Was it's not the greatest league
I
out
don't know
there.
what that's in sports. You'll get.
Yeah, they got
get your own
Mbappe, but
opinion
that's
on.
about
Yeah.
it really. And
It's like I'm really not going to watch a Nantes versus Lyon game. I'm
or
really
Dijon
not.
versus like EA Guam.
I'm really not
I
going
think
to.
I just butchered those two names. That's okay.
It's
I
Guinguam,
think-
but yeah, you're
I
close
think
enough.
your Dijon one is fine. But okay, let's go to a former Liverpool target, Nabil Fekir.
Former
Oh,
or
no,
still
not-
current? I think he's still a current Liverpool target.
Well, if we
Here's
if we're-
my issue with it. I'm sorry to cut you off. Here's my issue with it. Liverpool have spent 200 million so far.
yeah,
Can they afford another 50 to 60 million?
I think they're gonna wait out for another target. They do
I
need. I
think-
think they need another center defender and maybe a number 10. But I think they can wait it out for at least till January.
But I think if you're saying they need a center back and a number 10, they're going to go for a center back first because they have people that can play number 10.
if they can get either like a guy like Fekir or a center back in January, then they'll do it. But
I think they'll go for a center back this transfer window.
I don't think so. I don't see another signing happening.
No, I think they might sign like a younger one, a bit more inexperienced.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I feel like with Fekir, like the president of Lyon said that if he's here after July, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean you have
And-
the greatest defender in the world on your team,
Well, with Fekir,
Dan
like,
Lovren.
Oh, I was like, what are you talking about, man? He's not the greatest, but
but with Chelsea are rumored to be interested, depending on what happens with
Yeah.
their players, which we'll get into.
Yeah,
But
Chelsea are a big mess. I mean, if any of you are Chelsea fans, I know my cousin is, and he watches the show. I'm genuinely sorry for you. Like you've got a mess on your hands
I mean,
there.
Chelsea aren't too bad.
They're a
I think
mess.
they might be in good hands. Sorry, it might take a year or two, but
They're in
It's
good hands with him. But I think it's
because-
also what does Roman Abramovich want to do with the team? Does he
Yeah,
want
I
to go
feel
out and
like-
buy? Does he want to sell? he's got.
I think what Roman needs to do, he's got to let the manager do what the manager wants to
But
do.
the thing is, he's got $1 billion stadium in the works.
Yeah.
Can he afford then to go out and spend $200 million in one transfer window?
Well, there's been rumors of Willian leaving.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Willian,
72-year-old
Hazard, Thibaut Courtois.
Yeah, like Hazard and Willian. I mean, Hazard and Courtois to Real Madrid potentially.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what the fees will be. If
I
that happens.
saw for the both of them 150 million.
Oh my god.
100 for Hazard, 50 for Courtois.
I don't think that's enough for at least Hazard.
I agree. Oh, I mean,
Hazard is Chelsea's best player.
I would go with 170 with 100 for Hazard,
I
70
mean,
for
I
Courtois.
don't know if he could be considered
No.
Chelsea's best player.
Really, you think Hazard's worth more than 100 million?
I'd say he's up there. Yeah.
I think he's worth as much as Coutinho.
What
Yeah,
was
I
his
think-
fee?
I think he can be a little
130?
bit better than
142
Coutinho.
million
142?
pounds, I think. I think Coutinho
I
and Hazard are kind of.
personally, I would rank Coutinho above Hazard.
I don't know.
I'm a fan of Hazard. Don't get me wrong,
Hazard's
but I'm
the type
not.
of player that will win you titles.
The thing is, Hazard has played.
He's won titles, right?
He's played in defensive systems for the longest time, and he's still produced quite well for Chelsea.
Yeah, that's
Imagine
fair.
him in a
an
free-flowing
open,
attacking
yeah.
system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real Madrid are a team that is going to be very interesting next year. How they play, what their system is going to look like, how their coach will lead them out. Because they're no longer that Zidane team. Ronaldo's gone. That's the face of Real Madrid is changing,
Yeah.
right? And with Zidane leaving
Who would you
as
say is
well.
the face of Real Madrid now?
I mean,
Would you
yeah,
say
Sergio Ramos.
Luka Modric maybe?
he-
After the
Sergio-
golden ball.
Sergio
Oh, I
Ramos.
think after the golden ball, it's just like
apparently after Ronaldo left, he's now become his jersey's become the most popular.
Luka Modric. Yeah.
I mean, it could be Gareth Bale, but
Gareth Bale had the opportunity to become a massive star in Madrid. I think he's let his chance go.
I think he still has this season to prove himself, but there's still guys like Asensio waiting in the
Yeah,
wings.
that's true.
He
And
could become the
Isco
main
and
man.
everyone.
they recently just signed the new Brazilian wonder kid.
Yeah, Vinicius.
Yeah,
see if he
check
makes-
us out on Instagram. We did an entire picture on him.
We'll see if he makes an impact next season. I don't know. Well,
Yeah.
how old is he? 17, 18?
7.
He's 18.
18, yeah.
You have to be
Cool.
18 if you're from South America to
Yeah.
Wow.
go
Yeah,
to Europe.
just a keynote here. Yeah, check us out on Instagram. The link will be in the bio. We post about pictures about all this kind of stuff, or major transfer rumors and
We
everything.
try to post at least once a day on there.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't really pronounce his name too well, but
Vincinius or
Vinicius.
That's
Vinicius.
I'll be honest, it's a badass name.
I watched his highlight video and I was like, oh my god, this kid's good. Like,
Apparently, like when he first started playing the Brazil first year, he initially struggled, but then he just started becoming an animal.
I watched him play left mid, right mid, center forward, number 10 role, and he was more than capable in all of them. Like,
I mean,
he's quick, he's skillful, he can shoot.
It is
Isn't he
highlight.
quite tall too?
He's not like hugely tall, but I mean, he's tall enough.
I saw the picture. He seemed like he had some muscle to him as well. So
I don't know. It is a highlight video, so it's hard to judge.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the
yeah,
thing.
but at the same time, it kind of shows that he has that talent in him. Like, I know they were interviewing Ronaldo, like Brazilian Ronaldo, because he was their flight ambassador or whatever, and he was like, this guy has all the potential to be the next huge Brazilian wonder and like challenge Neymar to become the best
I hope so.
Brazilian.
Yeah.
It's like, I can see it. This guy's fantastic.
Typically, you don't see maybe Real Madrid making like big moves for wonder kids at that age. Or, like,
He was expensive too.
Yeah.
How much was
like-
he?
I don't, at least 30 million.
Yeah, it was huge. Like, they obviously see something to spend that money, Like,
Yeah, I didn't really hear much about him before the transfer. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
just
typically
kinda
Real
nowhere.
Madrid will go after players that like have their name circled, like Odegaard or James Rodriguez,
Yeah.
right?
They just don't want to miss out on a guy like
Yeah,
Neymar.
yeah,
Yeah,
so-
exactly. That's a big thing. Yeah,
So good on them.
And they
I
also
mean.
have another. I think they have another Brazilian secured, Rodrigo. He, I think, went for more than Vinicius, but I'm not sure if that was official.
I mean,
or not.
good on Real Madrid. They're trying to stabilize their future and
That's
be
the big
ready.
thing. Is
I think that's
these-
what they're doing. They're trying to get ahead of Barca.
It's
well,
kinda cra-
these massive teams like Barca, Madrid, and Bayern and everything. They're going, okay, we need success today, but we also need success tomorrow.
Yeah.
So they're focusing on young players and they're focusing on development and everything.
And like, I mean, Barca's kind of been like, what's their future without Messi, right? So right now it's kind
Those
of
two teams are going to
it's
be
just
really
looking
interesting the
old.
next 5 years or so.
Real Madrid are bringing in a bunch of youth products, while Barcelona have been letting a lot go.
and they haven't been too hot either. Like everybody's now expecting the next Iniesta, Xavi, Messi to be coming out of their academy.
Well, Barcelona did buy a Brazilian from Gremio. His name's Arthur.
The
He
fact
could be the guy.
the fact is, those academies at Barcelona and Madrid will always produce talent because from the age of like 5, they're going out and finding the best players in Spain or around the world. So you're always going to find talent. The question is, can we find talent that is at the top level, like Ronaldo and Messi, and the people that have come through the academies?
And those types of talents come from like these obscure places.
They do, and the thing is, it's a huge credit to development and like scouting and everything of going out and looking at a 12-year-old kid playing, going, that's the next future right there, And
like Ronaldo came from like some island beside Portugal.
yeah, he was from nowhere, yeah.
It's kind of crazy, like how
Well, yeah.
some of these players like they somehow get found, even though they come from such places
Well,
that aren't popular.
it says a lot about the players themselves that they go and they try out for the bigger teams and they put the effort in to get to the places they want to be, right?
Nowadays, it's a little easier because you can record and put it
Yeah.
out on the internet
Yeah.
of your 12-year-old or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, especially Madrid, Barcelona, I think the two teams that are we talk about them in the same breath, but they're so different in the
Yeah.
way that they do
Yeah,
their
they
things.
have two different
They do.
philosophies. So.
And I think Madrid are a team that I'm worried about more than Barcelona.
What?
I am, because
Why?
I don't know if they'll be able to hold themselves to the standard that they've set themselves.
I think they will. I think they'll be on a pinnacle higher than Barca soon.
I
Barca's kind of like in a weird.
I think for at least next season, I think Real Madrid will struggle, especially with Atletico Madrid and their signings they've made.
I just see the players at Real Madrid getting older and their system maybe falling apart a little bit, like coaching differences and this and that. And I go,
think with the new
who's
coach,
gonna-
it could bring us a small bump in the road.
well, who's going to be the next leader of that team?
Well, we already mentioned some names earlier.
yeah, I mean,
Modric and Ramos.
Varane. He's like 24, 25.
Varane's a person I could see definitely taking over from Sergio
Marcelo.
Ramos.
Yeah, there's a bunch of leaders in that team. And that's how you win Champions League. You need
Yeah.
leaders.
And
Yeah.
even with Ronaldo gone, they still have champions in the team.
Yeah, they got.
They need a focal point though.
They still have Benzema there. They got Bale. They're still. I mean, they're still competitors for the Champions League next year.
Of course they are, but I think they need
Yeah, maybe this is a breath of fresh air for them. Maybe you know?
potentially. Maybe this will be a breakout year for them.
But
They'll be
something-
outstanding.
Something we always forget: they finished third in La Liga last
Yeah.
year. They struggled really
Yeah.
badly.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's something to do with Ronaldo and the way they kind of circulated around him.
Maybe with the amount of times they've won the Champions League. La Liga,
Maybe.
it
Getting
doesn't
so
seem-
tired. Yeah. They played a lot of games in the past few
And they're going to
years.
continue playing a lot of games this season.
Yeah.
They're going to go to the Club World Cup later this
Yeah,
year.
and you think of all look at Varane, all of last season, Champions League, World Cup, this that. It's like they don't get a break. They get like a 2-week
So I
break
think
now, but that's it.
for them it's a good thing they're signing these like high prospect Brazilians, right? They can rotate them.
Yeah,
throughout the
potentially,
squad.
yeah.
It could give them a chance in the early
Yeah.
games to impress Lopetegui, or I said that name wrong, but
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Maybe this year we'll see Odegaard break out.
Yeah, you never
So-
know. He didn't get loaned, right?
I'm not too sure, but we'll
Well,
see.
I want to talk about Atletico Madrid a bit. 'Cause
Okay.
They've made some good deals.
They have,
I feel
yeah.
like they brought in Thomas Lamar, who
Okay,
he
that's a good
quality.
struggled a little bit last year.
But he's
Ligue 1,
quality player. We know what he's capable
World
of.
Cup champion.
Yeah.
They also have Griezmann signing a new contract. Lucas Hernandez signing a new contract. Jimenez signing a new contract.
They
Big
did
young
lose a
players.
few players to China.
Yeah, they
Was it
do need to
Gabby
make-
or whatever?
Yeah,
I mean, they'll
Carrasco
probably
too.
still do well, but I mean, you're kind of mentioning how Real Madrid got third, but Atletico slipped into the Europa League.
They got second. They slipped into.
I know,
finished
but it's
second.
still, it's like kind of like
They slipped into Europa League because their group was pretty tough.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just
Ah,
saying, like,
I agree with you. They did not play well in the Europa League or in the Champions
Yeah.
League group stages. But then when they went to the Europa League,
they won it.
they won it. They did
So-
well. So I mean, maybe they just were having a bad form at that
Yeah,
time, or
true.
Like is
injuries or something.
the first half of the season they really didn't have a good ideas. I think.
What I think it shows is that when you're a club of that level, every game matters. Every game is important.
Yeah.
And you need the points, especially in the Champions League. You need those points, and you need to perform, and you need to stand up. And no matter who you're playing with, they're a big or small team.
Like they
You
only
need to
conceded-
smash them.
They only conceded 22 goals that season.
I mean, they've got Godin and Jimenez. That says enough, right?
Plus, their goalie, I think, is one of the best goalies in the
All
world.
Black, yeah. So, I mean, next year, yeah.
I'm a big fan of
I
Jan
feel like
All Black.
the Champions League is a little bit more open now with Ronaldo gone.
Yeah.
It changes the conversation.
Yeah, because like Ronaldo kind of cemented Real Madrid almost as Champions League winners every year.
It changes the conversation, right? And it goes, maybe this team this year can do something.
I feel it's more open. Like
you know?
Juventus, Real Madrid, Atletico now.
And with Barcelona in the league, they're not gonna go near unbeaten for the whole season again.
You don't
I
think?
don't see it.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone saw it last year either.
Well, of course, no one did because everyone thought Barcelona was finished because of
Yeah.
what was happening with their club.
Yeah,
But
that's the game of football. You know, it's anything can happen.
I feel like they're losing some key players in their club legacy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Iniesta's a
gonna
big
affect
one,
them
yeah.
a bit. But we'll see what happens, really.
Do you think they have a player within the ranks to replace Iniesta?
They've signed, like I mentioned earlier, they signed a guy named Arthur who could replace him. Mm-hmm. Coutinho probably doesn't have the stamina to play his role. They also have
Coutinho has quality though, and it's a bit different to Iniesta, but he brings something.
We forgot to mention within Real Madrid. They also have Casemiro.
Yeah,
He's pretty good. So I mean, their midfield is fine for a number of years now. So
yeah, fair enough.
They also do have a young player named Alenya, but he's injured. But I don't know. We'll see what happens with their midfield. It could be turning point.
I'm very interested to see what's gonna happen to Barca in the next couple of years. Like Messi kind of getting older too, and
But okay, let's look at Champions League for example.
Okay.
If we're going back to let's say the early 2000s, when Man United was dominant,
Yeah.
Premier League teams were dominant. You know,
I would say it was like more so Liverpool.
Like,
Or are we talking early 2000s?
I'd
well,
say
like
mid
2000s,
2000s.
2010, let's say.
Like around the new millennia, or
I'd say like 2004 to 2012.
12, yeah. So like
Yeah, but
United,
they're-
Liverpool, Chelsea, they were dominant.
and then you had the Italian clubs.
yeah, you had a moment where
I mean, you gotta give credit to the Italian clubs within that time span because they were
like
dominant.
Inter, AC Milan, Juventus, they were
Yeah.
all good.
But there were times where English clubs, like 2-3 of the 4 semifinalists, were English.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, it goes in cycles in a sense,
Mm-hmm.
and I think we're currently in the Spanish cycle. We went through the Dortmund,
I
Bayern
think the
Munich for a
Spanish
while.
cycle kind of started in 2007, though, right?
No,
With Barca,
no,
because they won.
no. It started after the Bayern Munich Dortmund final.
You should. Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's where it started. It was Madrid, Barca, and then back and forth.
'Cause even if like a different country wins, it doesn't mean it's a cycle.
I know,
Yeah.
but before that, you also had kind of Barca win the final with Man United a couple times.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, maybe the cycle's coming to an end. You know, maybe this
I don't know.
5-year cycle, wherever we're in, it's coming to the end of its life. You know, maybe the Premier League teams are starting again. You know, maybe this Champions League final will be another Premier League
Maybe
team.
it's
in
gonna
it.
be Italians taking over.
Maybe there'll be Italians. You know,
I can see.
it's the game and how it evolves and how it rotates
I
constantly.
can see the English making a.
I honestly, I could
with
too.
City and Liverpool.
I honestly could
United,
as well.
no.
The way Man City and Liverpool are playing
Yeah.
are very Champions League quality, where it's pace and attack is what the focal point is.
I know I talk about United, but if we're gonna want to win the Champions League, we gotta get rid of Mourinho. So that's simple. If we want to win
I
anything,
totally
Mourinho's
agree.
just,
He's won a Champions League.
yeah, but I think he just now
he wins it very. The way Mourinho wins things is not the way you should go out and win things. He wins by not losing.
But look at this. Last time Mourinho won a Champions League was in 2010. Zidane's won 3 in the
who was that
last like a year.
Who did he win that with?
Inter Milan.
Yeah, he got to the final with Porto, which
Yeah,
was big.
And he won it with Porto.
Yeah, over someone I know.
Monaco.
Well, he got to the
But
Europa League final
I feel like
against
Mourinho
Celtic.
needs to change his tactics in order to like compensate with the new modern football.
Yeah,
But does Mourinho care enough to change his
No,
No, that's
exactly.
the
He's like
thing.
it's like Van Gaal over again. It's just stubborn.
Do you
It
think
feels
he's
like
going to be complacent this season?
probably.
Because many times in the past, not Manchester United, Mourinho's teams have struggled in their third season.
they have. You're right.
Like he left
Oh my
Inter
God.
once in his second season with them, and then joined Real Madrid. And I think it was his third season with Real Madrid where everything went wrong. Chelsea, same thing, and United now are in his third season.
So let's say they do go wrong. Who replaces him?
Well,
Can we just
can't,
get-
can't really talk about that?
Yeah,
right
let's
now.
not right now.
Why not? But who would you like to see replacing him?
Someone exciting, please. Like just Louis Van Gaal was
mean-
boring. David Moyes was a garbage
We
fire.
shouldn't talk about a coach being replaced before the season even starts.
Yeah, let's just.
No, but you have to have. Like, If it goes wrong, who would you want?
Well, if it goes wrong, then what happens? How does United react?
Can we go to Liverpool? Just hey Klopp, here's a bunch of money. Can you come here?
I don't think that would ever
I
happen.
read the Klopp bug. Apparently, United offered for Klopp before the 2013 season.
What about Laurent? What about?
Are you kidding me?
And he rejected them because
Why?
he was being loyal to Dortmund.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Why? I feel like why can't we just say, hey, maybe in like X number of years?
What about Didier Deschamps?
Maybe
He's got to be within question for taking over a club.
Yeah, but you always question him with
I do.
France.
You're right, I do.
I don't think I feel like I want him.
But at the same time, I go, this
he's
French team was fantastic.
He had a good relationship with Pogba, I guess, yeah.
But I guess the thing is, this French team was so good. You just can't put them on the field and go play, you know?
Okay, enough United talk. Let's move back to...
No, it's all about the Premier League. It's like about these giant European teams and how they are going to... the Champions League is becoming so big these past few seasons.
Yeah, it's becoming like the main competition.
It is, honestly.
I would like to see the Dutch league make a nice...
The Eredivisie?
Come make a return.
There's a lot of young, good players in the Dutch league right now.
Because Ajax.
But unfortunately, what's happening is they don't have the money to hold on to them. They sell them off to the big team.
All I'm saying is I want to see a club from one of these lower leagues make a nice run in the Champions League.
I agree.
Like maybe Celtic or Ajax or
And you know what? And
Anderlecht.
Since Mourinho's Porto, it hasn't really happened.
No,
where a smaller team, got to the... I mean, I'm not going to make any offense, but Liverpool, no one really saw them going to the final, and most people consider them a smaller team, right?
I feel like that this season Liverpool finally broke out of that shell.
But like popularity-wise, there's a top 10 team in the world.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's hard to see like these clubs outside the top 10 making it that far.
Yeah.
I remember Lyon, they made the final, I think, the semifinal in 2000.
I mean, early 2000s, you kind of saw that a little bit more. Like
maybe not 2008.
No, like in 2002, I think Schalke made the final at one point or something.
Valencia made like back-to-back finals.
Galatasaray a few seasons ago pushed Juventus right to the brink when that snow game happened.
True, I mean...
Like,
they eliminated them that year.
Yeah, there you go. So, I mean, it's been a while since the smaller teams have really pushed against the big guys.
And it's getting harder for that to happen.
It is, because the big teams are getting more money and more quality players and everything. It's like, is there a chance that a small team can even get even close to it?
What needs to happen, maybe more big TV deals across.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be more money going into the game, no matter how much we want the lower teams to get better.
Just let's hope the money's going into other countries, right?
Yeah, because Ligue 1 is getting a TV deal. Serie A will get a big TV deal.
Can we get a Polish TV deal, please, to fix our team?
No one wants to watch the Polish league.
No one? Okay.
Legia Warsaw is not worth my money.
Yeah. I mean, when they were in the Champions League 2 years ago, they were kind of exciting with Dortmund.
They lost by a lot.
Yeah, it was like that 6-3 game.
Remember when Ludogorets beat Real Madrid?
Oh, that's huge.
In the group stages?
Yeah.
Shout out to Ludogorets.
That was when we got third in the group.
To be fair, you had Brendan Rodgers.
He's not too bad.
I mean, my dad could play for the Celtics, let's be honest.
Oh, my God. My God. We just beat you 3-1.
You're under 18s. That's nothing. Come on.
Is the Manchester United Youth Academy not one of your pride and joys?
Yeah, but right now it's just...
We smashed you 3-1.
We'll let you have your joy.
3-1.
The Lithuanian under 18 team can probably win like the World Cup or something.
Wow.
And the under 17 World Cup. You always see those small countries do well in the youth tournaments.
I mean, not really.
Yeah,
sometimes I see countries that
you see them make it, but you don't see them do well in the competition. Like except when Sweden won it that.
Well, can we talk about an under 17 team person?
A player?
A player. A Canadian player.
Okay, I mean.
Well, he's not under 17. He's now full national, but he is 17. Alphonso Davies plays for the Vancouver Whitecaps. If you don't know, he's in the MLS.
He's the Canadian Mbappe.
Well, he's from Edmonton. No, he's from Edmonton, which is our hometown. He's a brilliant player. He plays kind of right wing strikerish kind of area.
Scores for Vancouver.
He's fantastic. And coming out this week was rumors of him transferring to Bayern Munich for around £12 million. If he does go to Bayern, it'll be the most expensive transfer in history for an MLS player. And you know what? This is the face of the North American franchise. If he goes,
Yeah, Yeah, I mean,
Christian Pulisic is up there with Dortmund, but you know what? A player at Bayern Munich for North America is huge.
not North America. I mean, just Canada.
Yeah,
like,
but
we've never had we've had some players go over a season, do somewhat well, but like. Our best Thibaut Hutchinson, but does anyone really know what Thibaut Hutchinson?
Yeah.
I mean,
He's the best Canadian soccer
yeah,
player.
in Canada, maybe. But
there's
like,
Alisson de Guzman a few years ago.
Yeah,
he was okay.
They're not marquee names. That's the thing I'm saying, right? So,
but Alphonso Davies, if you don't know who he is, highly recommend YouTubing him. He's brilliant.
He's a very quick player, very good dribbler.
Yeah,
and he's been improving every year. He's been at the White
Caps. He's got a really good attitude too.
Yeah.
So
I think the goal he scored last week was up there with his best ever.
Oh, I mean, I haven't seen all of his goals, but it was a very nice goal.
Yes.
Like his first full season with the White Caps, he wasn't that big of an impact, but he was 16 at that time, and now he's starting to get more goals and assists, which is great to see.
Was he the youngest ever MLS player?
I think so.
I believe he was. Yeah.
And then I think he got inducted into the All-Star team.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Also, I don't know what I was gonna say, but yeah, he's a great player. He's over, I think, 50 MLS games in his career.
He's the Canadian generational talent for sure.
He's our future. Definitely. I thought Kyle Larin would be it when he got drafted.
And then
but Kyle Larin, he's still young and good, right? So
yeah, but he's not potential Bayern Munich.
No, exactly. That's insane.
Let's talk about this potential move, though.
Let's talk about
to Bayern Munich, apparently.
Let's talk about not only what happens if he goes to Bayern, but where he may be in the next few seasons.
Mm-hmm. So
I think that's a big part of this deal.
So it's going to be like 12 to 15 million up front, but then bonuses included as well if the deal goes through.
Huge money for Vancouver.
Yeah,
huge money.
It'll be the biggest deal in MLS history.
Yeah,
coming to the out of the MLS.
Yeah,
and apparently, if this White Cap correspondent is to be believed, he'd be going to Bayern in January.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd be with the White Caps for the rest of the season and playoffs to help them out.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And then goes over in January, as we said, probably just training with the first team for the rest of the season. And then starting at the beginning of the 2019 season is when he would fully step into a role there.
I feel like he'd also get some game time, at least substitute appearances.
Potentially,
if Bayern are dominating the Bundesliga like usual.
Yeah.
Which I think that might change if they don't really sprucing up the team like Real Madrid does, or Man City.
Yeah.
So
Bayern Munich are a team that
they really need to bring in some
affected,
fresh legs because they've got some aging ones there.
But do you guys like this move for the kid?
Yeah,
I don't see why not.
There's nothing really against it. I mean, I don't think he's gonna start, but
that's the thing. We say that he might make some substitution appearances. I think if he goes to Bayern, he'll get loaned out to another German team or maybe abroad, which I think is more than okay for him. He needs to go out and play against higher level opposition than the MLS. Yeah. MLS is a good league, don't get me wrong, but it's not like you're playing against Christian Pulisic or playing against Schalke, right?
I just hope he doesn't play for the Bayern second team, which plays in a fourth division of Germany. I feel like that's too low of a level.
Yeah, I agree. He needs to play for a Bundesliga team
or
at
least second Bundesliga at the lowest.
Yeah, that'd be good.
But he needs a constant first team appearances to gain more action and learn and everything like that. Because he's a really good player and he has potential of doing great things.
And those ages from 18 to 22 are key for a player to play.
Yeah.
Integrate them into the first team and
make
a name for themselves.
Bayern know what they're doing. Let's be honest. Come on. There's a reason why they're at that level.
If Bayern wants to sign him at 17, what it says to me is they want to get him in, show them how they play, and get him, that's the way he plays in his head then, is play the Bayern way.
But there's been North American players at Bayern in the past who have failed. Julian Green, he was at Bayern. Maybe his attitude wasn't there, unlike Davies, who seems like who has a good head on him.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see what happens.
They obviously see something in him, so it's a good sign, right?
Yeah, willing to spend over $10 million for a kid from Canada, which is
but even
not something you see.
Even if he does go to Bayern and it doesn't work out for him, we have to say there's probably gonna be another European team coming after him. I don't see him playing for MLS side if he goes for another 10, 20 years, like he'll make a European career out of it.
I
you never know. Maybe he'll turn out to be the this generation's top North American star.
Just you can't overhype him.
Yeah, no, like
hype him all you want. Was
maybe I
from
would,
Edmonton,
but
hype him.
maybe I'll get a Bayern jersey with.
Like there's been players hyped up before too, like Julian Green, like I mentioned, Freddie Adu.
Freddie Adu.
Wasn't he dubbed like the next Pele? Pele?
Do you say Pele? Don't be American and say Pele. It's Pele.
Pele.
Yes.
I hate when I watch like Americans go Pele. It's like shut your mouth.
It's like kicking and screaming, and they're like, "Oh, I got the Pele ball."
Yeah, it's like oh god.
But
Listen, no, stop saying Pele.
if he has more of an attitude like Christian Pulisic, then why can't he succeed?
Well, I mean, Christian Pulisic had a bit of an attitude during the I think Dortmund Liverpool game where he just wanted to take the penalty.
Well, he just took off the penalty from Goetz, so I don't know if that's an attitude thing.
No.
Or if he just
Or his
wanted
confidence, yeah.
I think he just wanted to score in his country. That's
That's how I feel too.
I think Christian Pulisic is a very, really promising young player because he's not.
Yeah.
Is he 21?
He's 19.
19. There you go.
What I hope this does is create some like rivalry in the Bundesliga.
Like Canada versus US.
Yeah. Bayern versus Dortmund, Canada versus US. It's gonna be like maybe you'll see Bundesliga on TSN.
No, it's on Sportsnet.
It is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which
Sportsnet World,
yeah.
though.
I have that.
Yeah,
like
it'll be a
$20
marquee
month.
game in Canada. And so
But yeah, it says that not only is the Canadian youth system kind of showing some fruits, but it's the game in Canada is getting really popular. You know,
it's getting better.
It's getting popular. You know, and you see players all the time. You know, reaching higher levels.
It's still gonna have that reputation about being a pansy sport here.
Well,
but
of course, you know, it's not the number one sport in Canada,
American,
100%. But I think it's becoming more popular, more accessible to more people, right?
There have been great Canadian players in the past.
Yeah.
So it's he's like the one above the rest. There hasn't been anyone really close to him, or even
unless you count Owen Hargreaves, who never really represented Canada.
Oh no, that's what I'm talking about in the past. I'm talking about right now. There's no one really close to him.
Asmir Begovic, but
yeah, he's from Edmonton.
we somehow just keep players are coming out of Alberta and going to Europe.
Yeah.
So
because even Owen Hargreaves is from Calgary, which is 3 hours south of us. Yeah. But you know, it's interesting that these players are being produced here, and I wonder in the next 5 years or so will there be more consistent players coming out, especially academies,
or is this just a one-off?
Well, with the Canadian Premier League coming in,
should be able to identify some hidden gems.
It should be more realistic. If you're let's say you're a 15-year-old Canadian player, you're going, I want to get to this team and then to the MLS and then to Europe. It's a more clear and obvious route to the big leagues.
Is more open, right?
So. Rather than from like when we were growing up, it's okay if I'm good, I have to go to MLS or where do I go?
It's kind of a little bit more complicated when we were kind of younger, right? Like,
well, it wasn't that clear and obvious.
There was no like FC Edmonton in our town. It's like, the only major club was like Vancouver, and it would be extremely rare if someone's getting scouted from there.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
No one's scouting in Alberta ever, so it's like you'd be stuck with your like best local city team, right? And like the Edmonton Major Soccer League or something.
Yeah.
So,
but now that you have that kind of path in front of you with the Canadian Premier League, hopefully in the next 5 to 10 seasons we see younger players coming through. We see more quality happening. We see more consistent products.
Maybe there's just somewhere in like Vancouver a hotbed of Davies. I doubt it, but
like these things take decades for it to happen.
But I think those decades have been put in already.
I don't think so.
Let's just say that maybe in Canada there's a hotbed of amazing young players, but they're not getting the chance.
They literally just hired a new youth development youth director, like Jason DeVos.
Yeah.
Did he get it?
He got it like 4 years ago or 2
years
years
ago. He's been up there for a while.
But
I like Jason DeVos.
Like these things take forever to get to.
No, I'm just saying maybe like because we didn't have our own league. A lot of some players didn't get be shown.
When the MLS got their new league, there weren't these consistent start. There was good players coming out.
Well, okay, I'm not saying consistent stars coming out.
Not stars, but like
a player that can go to Europe and do okay. Playing for a mid-table team because we don't see that every time.
Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah.
But what I'm seeing is not only are like the Canadian Premier League and MLS becoming more established, but like just soccer in general in Canada is becoming established.
Just don't expect too much, in my opinion. These things take a lot of time.
They do, but at the same time, there's lots of talent. With Canada, especially with how many different immigrants are coming to Canada and their children and everything. the possibilities there.
You never
to
know.
have
Maybe
something.
like Canada is a hotbed for soccer.
Of course.
It's not being discovered yet because we don't have our own league.
We didn't have the systems in place. Yeah,
we don't have teams in the Maritimes, right? Like,
I mean, if you're good enough, you probably will be fine, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I feel like with Canada it's a little tough, just because
it is tough.
You need a domestic league to grow the game in your country.
Mm-hmm. Or you need at least, when you're
something
15 or so, you need someone to go, hey, you know what? Come to this more competitive
and
team.
we're not a third world
something.
country, right? We should be able to be, bring up players.
I mean, some third world countries bring out the best players. So.
True, but
it's a culture thing. So.
It is. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. It's changing the culture and making it so that's your goals.
Culture doesn't change in like 1 year or 5 years. It
No.
takes decades, centuries even.
But do you not see the Canadian culture's already been changing a little bit?
In soccer, I think
it's been improving because of the broadcasting here. It's been really good, especially with TSN and Sportsnet.
I'm just
showcasing it.
Like in Canada, we're a huge country and we have players all over, but it's not getting people aren't going there to look for players ever because it's Canada. We have that reputation of not being a good soccer country, but now people are maybe going to be looking like, oh, there's players in the Maritimes, in Quebec, and Newfoundland. It's never shown.
Yeah, maybe Alphonso Davies will kind of change the way people's perspective of Canada is.
Wouldn't people think that with Owen Hargreaves, who came from Canada?
Yeah, but I think Owen Hargreaves also, he never identified as Canadian.
Yeah.
He always went as English.
But people would know that he came from Canada. Like Bayern. Funny enough, it was Bayern who found him from the foothills in Calgary.
Yeah, it is, yeah. I don't know. I think...
Does Bayern have like a secret headquarters here? Like
they got a headquarters in the U.S. now.
There you go.
Interesting.
And they got a partnership with FC Dallas.
Wow.
So, some players from their FC Dallas academy went to Bayern.
Like there is some good young players in Canada and in the U.S. So I'm sure that they'll find talent, and you know what?
But there's always problems like how much you have to pay to play and then stuff like that.
Yeah, I think the next 5 to 10 years you'll see more North American players playing in Europe, and maybe not the top teams, but in European teams, which we haven't seen for a while, right?
My dream is to have the whole landscape of football come to North America.
Hey, you know what? With the World Cup coming 2026,
that probably won't happen until I'm in my 70s.
But I'm saying with the 2026 World Cup, it'll create so much hype around the game. Maybe that will speed up the process.
I want the MLS
change.
to be the next Premier League, but that will not happen for many years.
The MLS is a good thing going.
Yeah, no, I hope so.
They don't want to be the next Premier League though. They want to be the MLS.
Yeah,
which I respect.
I don't know. I won't get into it. I have some different opinions, but I would need some time to think about them. But let's move on to some other topics. So, what do you guys want to go into? You want to talk about PSG? You want to talk about Serie A?
Talk about Adrian Rabiot.
Sure.
He's an interesting move potential.
Very good midfielder.
He's a good midfielder.
Where's he going?
Potentially to Barcelona.
Oh, very good move.
He handed in a transfer request yesterday, I believe.
Really?
That's what I saw on my thing.
I have not seen that.
I told you that before we started recording, and you did not answer me, so maybe you didn't hear me. But yeah, he handed in a transfer request, and Barcelona are the leading team for where he wants to end up. So, do we think that'd be a good acquisition for Barcelona, or is that a weird move?
There's good things about Rabiot in his game. Like, there's some things he does where you need a midfielder to do, like being press resilient, making that dribble in the midfield while driving the play forward. But there's something he doesn't have the greatest attitude, I don't think.
But maybe if he's going to a team like Barcelona, and where it's more about the team rather than the individual, it can be changed and he can improve that sense.
Yeah, but like there's all this controversy with him in France. Like he just rejected like Deschamps. Like Deschamps made him like a reserve option. And he said, "No, I'm not gonna be a reserve option." I just don't feel like he has the greatest attitude.
Yeah.
Even in the past, like he's like threatened to leave before signing a new contract.
But at PSG, which in my opinion is a team of just egos right now, where when Neymar's running the show, maybe
different Mbappe.
Well, yeah, but maybe
So I hope that doesn't spread onto him.
But maybe he's just kind of gone accustomed to taking care of myself before taking care of the club, Where at Barcelona, it's the opposite. You know, you're there to play for Barca.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and maybe if he goes there, he can, you know, change his attitude, and the legends of Barcelona can help affect his game for the positives.
Could you imagine how good the French league could be if all these France players like all stayed in France? Well, the French players.
Where would they play?
Just like with the local team, yeah,
or-
PSG, Monaco, Lyon, just like all these top players that
But
are
you can say that about
abroad
any
of Europe.
country.
But, yeah,
If every country had like their national players playing in their country, how good would the teams be? You know, like
pretty good, I'd say. I mean, it's evident in like Spain and Germany, right?
yeah, Spain would be probably the best team. Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't really, in my opinion, that doesn't really matter that much.
What do you mean?
Well, I think I tuned into the wrong part. Never mind.
Okay. but
No, like, yeah, imagine like Conte and Pogba and like all these players just went back to France and played for the French teams instead of like yeah. Could you imagine how like stacked some of these teams could be? Like that?
yeah.
Yeah, what academy did Pogba come from? Like,
I think he's from a part of Paris.
oh yeah.
He was just outside of Paris. Yeah.
Man, that guy's a hell of a leader.
Yeah.
I was watching some videos of him in the French now. He's like banging the drums and singing everyone's name.
We've seen the side of him at this World Cup that he does not show at United.
He will. I think his mind has been open. He says, "I must take United."
But the thing that I'm saying is it him or is it Mourinho? Is Mourinho holding him back so much where he is not being able to express
Pogba
that?
is going to stand up to Mourinho. He's like, "No, this
I-
is my team."
I hope so, because you know
I
what?
mean, if that happens, then there's gonna be a falling out.
No, because United need a leader. United
is
need
the
a
leader we
player
need.
to lead them on the field.
He is from the academy. He is born. No, he's not born in Manchester, but he's bred by Manchester.
No, but think of the players in the past that have led United.
Mm-hmm.
Roy Keane, Vidic, Smalling, even. You know, like
Smalling.
Paul Scholes,
Paul
Ryan
Scholes, Giggs. Smalling has to be within that conversation. You know, but the players.
Smalling?
Of course he does. Smalling was a great leader for a while there.
Yeah, Ferdinand,
Yeah. What about there's players that
Wayne
have,
Rooney.
to an extent.
No, I thought he was a good
Beckham, yeah.
No.
Eric Cantona.
Yes.
Like,
See, that's what I'm talking
there's
about.
players there that have just led the team. They don't have that today. Like,
I mean, Antonio Valencia is a good leader.
I mean,
he is.
He's not like the star player that also like
No.
Tony V.
Tony V.
That's what some of them call Tony Valencia.
I mean, why?
Tony V, man.
I don't know. Anyways, but the things like Lukaku,
He's a
potential to be
yes.
that player. Pogba, potential to be that
Yes.
player. You know, Sanchez, I don't know
Bailey.
if maybe.
I forgot we had Sanchez.
No, but you need to have a player on the team that just says, "This is my team. I'm gonna drag you to wherever we need to get
Yes,
to." You know?
exactly.
And Mourinho has to then take a step back and go, "I'm here to
Yeah,
coach,
there's
not
Mourinho.
to
He's
control."
like, oh, you do that, I'm not playing you. It's like, oh, well, never mind.
Yeah, you know,
This
Mourinho.
can go poorly.
Why not, boss? Shut up.
Mourinho hampers. Like, he puts a break on things almost. When it's like the team, especially when the team's like playing really exciting, really open attack.
Yep.
You see him on the sideline. Okay, we'll compress the defense. And it's like, why? Go score. Like, go play.
No, I do feel like Mourinho sometimes does say some good things at halftime, like against the City game, where it's like you do not want to be seen like as clowns. He says something like that, and we won 3-2. I'm like, yes.
He can be a good motivator.
Yeah,
He's a
but
good manager,
He's
but,
also like his tactics and play style is very boring, and it restricts a lot of players.
It's not, I don't know if it's boring. It's very restrained. That's
Yeah.
the word to use. It's very restrained. He doesn't want to lose.
He wants to play that 1-0, but he doesn't
yeah.
have the players to have that.
Okay, what's the next topic?
Why can't we talk about this? What's
Because
going
we talk about too much about Man United. This is not the Man United podcast.
No, but it's a giant team. You know?
How's Celtic doing?
Stop with Celtics.
Exactly.
All right, so we did talk about Rabiot and PSG,
Yeah.
but what about Bonucci and AC Milan?
Oh, he should just leave.
Well, let's talk about AC Milan first. We're talking about Bonucci.
Yeah, so their European ban has been overturned. They're now going into the Europa League.
What was the official reason why it was overturned? Do we know?
It was, in general terms, it was because they didn't know where the money was coming from with their owners, the Lee family or whatever.
Yeah.
But now that they're no longer the owners and it's the Elliott Fund,
Mm-hmm.
they know where the money's coming from. There's a secure control in the club, and I guess UEFA saw that and they're like, okay, we're
Because
good
they were
with that.
banned. They were banned for 2 or 3 seasons.
2
right?
years,
2
yeah.
years. So yeah, for them to be reinstated is a big help for them because they're already a big European team and
A lot of
they
history.
no, but they can only attract players with the top quality. And if they don't have Champions League or Europa League football, they're not going to attract the top quality players.
And they didn't know what they were going to do in the transfer window because if you're in Europe or if you're not in Europe, that completely changes.
It does.
You might need to sell a lot more players because you don't want a big squad if you're not in Europe.
And now that they're there, it's, will they be able to sign players that will help them not only in Serie A, but in Europe, and with Bonucci, who is, arguably probably their top player right now, he's being asked. He's been asking to leave, and different teams are interested in him. So will that deal go through, or will they offer him a large sum of money to keep him for a few seasons?
It's definitely important for him to make a big move because he's 31.
This is
being in the Europa League is probably not the ideal thing for him while being a top quality defender.
He needs to go to PSG. That's where he needs to go.
I think that'd be the best move for him.
It is, honestly. He'll actually do well there, I think. It's a good league for him.
He gets to reunite with Buffon.
Yeah. Do you think him and Buffon are still good though?
I think so. Yeah, they've exchanged kind words to each other in the last season.
I think Buffon is
You think
he's an honorable person.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say bitter old man.
No, he's honorable, and the way that Bonucci treated Juventus was not honorable in my opinion.
Well, there was just a falling out.
But
I think Buffon's respectable. He had respect for Ronaldo after the Champions League win, right? Just blame the ref.
That's just respect for quality. Quality recognizes quality.
I guess, yeah, that's a fair point.
And then that was the moment that Ronaldo chose to sign for Juventus, when the Juventus fans were applauding him and respecting him, right?
But let's talk about some other Serie A clubs. So there's rumors of Arturo Vidal going to Inter.
Maybe a weird move for him.
I mean, I don't know.
Don't expect that.
I think this was from Gazzetta dello Sport, but don't quote me on that. I don't know how this. I don't know if they need him, but
where do you rank Inter Milan on the European levels?
Like European levels?
Like compared to other. What teams do you compare them to?
Not great.
What?
I agree.
It's simply not great.
I would not put them
in the past maybe 6 years they haven't been great.
Exactly.
But that's why I'm asking you, Lucas, because I know you have a different opinion than us. What teams do you think are in the similar level of Inter Milan?
On the European scale, it's kind of tough to say. I feel like they're the second or third best team in Italy going into next season with their squad.
Likely, yeah. Juventus, Roma, Inter.
They've had
Napoli.
Roma
Napoli is a little bit better than Roma. Never mind.
But with Inter, they've just struggled a lot, similar to AC Milan. But they've made some good steps. They made the Champions League.
They're making better steps than AC Milan, because AC Milan's kind of turned to tire fire.
But what I'm saying is,
Inter Milan, they've won a treble in the Champions League.
I don't rank them that high.
I can view them as a team that will struggle in the group stage.
Of the Champions League?
Yeah. Yes, it's simple as that.
If they finish third or fourth, I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, they're more of a Europa League,
yeah, 100%.
Team, honestly.
They're a Valencia.
They're not at the level yet.
I mean, their defense is probably I could see their defense competing with the best in Europe.
Okay, but you say their defense will challenge the best in Europe. I think that's lovely, and I think they have a good goal scorer. But the thing is, if I was to put them in the Premier League, which is the league I know best, the one I'm most comfortable with, I don't see them finishing in a European spot.
European spot? Not if they're in the Premier League.
6th, 7th.
Because I feel like the top 6 in the Premier League is kind of locked down.
Yeah.
But I mean, then again, in the Premier League, I feel like a team like Watford or Bournemouth can just kind of.
Speaking of Watford went nuts this week. You gotta know what happened.
Wait. Let me get to this point. Inter, they have Icardi.
Lovely.
Oh, he's a great striker,
one of the best goal scorers in Europe.
Yes.
They have struggled with creativity in the midfield, but they have bought players to improve that. Mm-hmm. I think they're showing ambition.
Who's their goaltender? Do you know?
Handanovic.
He's
one of the best in Europe.
Not a bad.
Now here's the thing: if you're not contending for the Serie A, you're not going to do well in Europe.
They were contending for the Serie A.
How many points behind?
I know you call the French league a tin pot league.
Yeah.
I know the Italian league has multiple better teams than France, but the Italian league's a tin pot league. It totally is.
Are you kidding? No.
Look
at the likes of Fiorentina, Roma.
Who's gonna win the Italian league this year?
Juventus.
There you go. Done.
You can't call a league
Done.
So is the German league a tin pot league?
To an extent. It's a first, and then it's who finishes the next
What's
two.
the definition of a tin pot league?
The tin pot league to me is you know who's gonna win, and then the next 5 spots are within the same contention, the same teams every year.
But
you could say
the way I view it is a tin pot league. It's kind of like you have 1 or 2 major teams that can't even really go too far in Europe.
Okay, let's get a definition of tin pot here.
In football?
It's a term used to describe that is either of low quality, has a poor reputation, or is unknown altogether. These leagues are well known.
No, that's not how.
It's very low quality in France.
The term is often used to describe English football, the soccer to our Yankee and Aussie friends. Clubs that occupy the lower reaches of the English football pyramid. These clubs are characterized by terrible quality of football, very small fan bases,
that's. But what way I view tin pot is, we can tell you who's gonna win, and then second, third, fourth, fifth, we know idea who's gonna be there.
Well, couldn't you say the same thing about the Premier League with who's going to be in the top 6 all the time?
100%, but you don't know who's gonna win. That's why it's not a tin pot.
Many people said City was going to win last year.
That's good, but who's gonna win this year? It's
City.
Many people think City is going to win.
No, they're not gonna win this
City,
year.
I feel like when you win when you win a championship, you're always gonna be touted as the contender for next year.
I feel like you guys have been given a lack of respect to French league and league.
Okay, French league. I mean, Dijon FC.
The French league's a tin pot league. It just is. There's PSG's good, Monaco's okay, Lyon's okay, Marseille's okay.
Didn't Lyon get smashed in the Europa League final?
But that's it. They're okay. That's it.
I mean, I don't take this show completely with their 2 opinions.
No, but the thing is,
Italy's not a tin pot league. They've been making a lot of good steps over the last couple of years.
They have been making a lot of good steps, but they're not.
Lucas,
that
when
good.
was the last time you saw a French team make a nice run in the Champions League?
Monaco.
When was that?
2 years ago.
Semi-final. Okay, so you have PSG and Monaco.
Point proven.
Okay, after PSG and Monaco, who do you have after that?
Pretty sure Lyon.
When was the last time they made a run?
I can check for you. I feel like it was.
But they were in the Europa League final.
Yeah, what was Saint Etienne?
That was
Marseille. Yeah.
Saint Etienne, Marseille, like these.
No, but they fall into the same trap as most teams. The money isn't there for them.
They have great ultras.
They do. No, but
I mean,
the Italian league is not as good as it once was.
Yeah, but it's been improving every single.
It has been improving, but it's not yet there.
I don't think the Premier League has been as good in recent
What?
years.
Are you nuts?
No, I'm not. I'm talking about in the last. Not the last 2 seasons, but from the time when around Leicester winning the league.
Oh, that was
the low point for the Premier League.
Was it
really?
How could you have a team?
It was the best ever sports story.
It was the best sports story, but the quality I'm talking about, the players were.
The quality of that season was the dream of Leicester. That's what the quality was. It was, how are these players doing it? Oh my God, they're still doing it. Look, they've done it. Yeah, that was the quality.
That's not the point I'm making.
They didn't do it again.
Well, no one expected them to do it again.
They didn't do it after season. Like they just kind of fell off.
The Premier League is at, I think, the all-time high right now of who's gonna win. The players are bringing in. The coaches are bringing in.
You got a point, but I mean, look, it's like the French league. It doesn't sound sexy. It does not have sex.
No one likes Ligue 1.
Like it's not. It doesn't have that sexiness vibe that the Italian league kind of has, or like the German league, or Spanish. Even
the German league, I'm not tin pot, not at all. It's a great league, but it's becoming, where Bayern Munich's becoming so dominant that it's kind of ruining the league.
I mean, Lyon was in the semifinal 2010, so
8 years
ago. It's been
ago.
a while, yeah.
But
I feel like it's kind of, I don't know.
It doesn't interest you. That's the thing. Serie A does not interest me.
It's likely because we're maybe North American. We get like only Premier League, right? We only see that. We don't see the other side of Europe.
With Daz and Sports, you guys will actually get to watch these different leagues and make a better opinion.
Like, I think what happens, like the one time I watched Neymar's debut, I'm like, oh, let's see what the French teams are about, and they smashed some team 6-1.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like, what's the point of this?
Yeah, okay, I know the outcome every time PSG plays.
I agree, and it ruins it. You watch Juventus versus Torino, and you're like, Do I really care about Torino?
Like
Who's the best player?
Spain?
I mean, that's a big
Joe
rivalry.
Hart. Like Joe Hart's there.
No, he's not.
Not anymore, but he was there. It's like, okay,
It's like
cool.
West Ham now.
He's not
No,
gonna
he's
be there
not.
anymore.
He's at City.
No.
What? Oh,
He was on loan at West Ham,
Oh.
but I don't know. He can go.
Did he have like 2 loans?
He can literally just be sold to anywhere. Like,
I
sell
feel,
him to like the lowest
I don't
division
know.
guitar
Let Luke
side.
speak.
I feel like calling like a Big 5 league tin pot is kind of short-sighted.
So-
I would say they're the top 5 leagues in Europe. Yeah, but I would say they're 5th.
But saying it's like
Which is fifth?
Oh, the league
no,
one.
I'm talking about both of you. Like saying a league is not that good is, even though it's obviously is pretty good, it's a little
No, see,
short-sighted.
the league's not good. There's a few good teams in the league.
I mean, there's a bunch of teams. Like you could see the gap about the Premier League, the top 6. Well, you could include.
I
Burnley this
don't
year.
know about that.
I don't know about that either.
'cause
Let me get some facts.
Any day,
I mean-
any team in England can win.
I see, like, in Europe, you got those top 6 big clubs that kind of cement their position.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't know who's going to finish where every year. But after that, there's a lot of good quality teams. You're in England. They're
Yeah,
all pretty
there
good.
is.
I disagree. Like,
Me and you are just big Premier League fans. He's not.
look, I like the
Okay,
Premier League.
are you
and
saying?
all.
Are you saying
Look,
if
okay, look
Watford
at
if
this.
Watford plays Sevilla, who's winning?
Sevilla?
Are you,
Sevilla
I
will
don't
win.
know. I think
I
Watford
didn't
would
say
give him a
Sevilla.
game.
Sevilla beat Manchester
Yeah,
United.
see?
Well, that's easy to do. Celtic could do that.
Okay, look.
Piss off.
Look, let's show you the gap between 6th and 8th place.
In the Premier League?
Yeah, last season, 14 points.
Okay.
Okay.
And who were those teams?
It was Arsenal and Everton.
Okay.
And Everton, who was a team that was in the top 6 a few years ago, but like
I mean,
with
Newcastle, they're a quality side. They're likely going to win the league.
yeah, they were a team that was
I mean, I said that's going to win.
Newcastle were a team that without their manager they would get relegated.
I
And
disagree
they
with
finished
that.
10th place.
They had some good players.
Yeah,
there.
but-
Rafa Benitez isn't out there taking penalties.
Benitez did change the philosophy and help.
Oh,
them
yeah.
bring
And
out.
look at this. Usually people always talk about 40 points and you'll be safe. There was the 15th place team got 40 points, 16th 37, 17th 36. These teams performed poorly this year.
Let's show us this.
Okay.
I mean, Crystal Palace is the likes of like Wilfred Zaha.
Yeah, are you saying
Everton's was a good.
I'm looking at that
Burnley, amazing.
Okay, well,
team.
I'm looking at 6th to let's say 12th. Those teams, I think, could make it out of the group stages of the Europa League.
I think Burnley's a solid side.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, Southampton were in the Europa League not too long
I mean,
ago.
let's
and
be
they
honest
didn't
here.
get
I
out
think
of the
I
group
think
stages.
Burnley could likely get like 4th in League One.
Oh no, they didn't mean.
Yes, like
4th in league. What?
oh yeah.
They finished top
They,
3.
they just don't have a chance. They can't get into Europe because
They
they have
can't.
like
That's
this
the
giant
thing.
wall of great teams.
That's honestly the thing. Like
That's the thing with Burnley and like Burnley.
slowly, Lucas's
Everton.
mind is
Let's go.
melting right now. Like
Like,
You know-
let's go to 16-17 season. The gap between 8th and 6th is
Who's there?
23 points.
But Everton's in 7th.
Yeah.
Oh, we're 6th. Jesus Christ.
no, but what I'm trying to say is, I feel the mid-table Premier League team is similar to the quality in Italy, France, of 4th to 5th.
I completely disagree. That makes little sense to me.
I'm just saying. I think you just kind of You don't like the Italian league. Did you
No, it's not that I don't like it. It's that I'm not a huge fan of
I
watching it.
think what I want to say is that the Italian league is improving
It
very
is,
much so.
100%.
But Inter, I don't see them going really deep in the Champions League. I don't view them as a Sevilla, for example.
Well, if we bring this, Everton, they finished 8th this year. They played Atalanta in the Europa League, Atalanta finished 7th this year, and Atalanta beat them twice.
But Everton are a bad example, and you know that. Under Sam Allardyce, they were not playing
Big-
attractive
No, this
football.
wasn't under Sam Allardyce. This was under Coleman, which was worse, to be fair.
Yeah. They were not playing attractive
Well,
game.
In my opinion, a team like Sampdoria can compete with a team like Everton.
Yeah,
team like
yeah, no,
Bournemouth.
Sampdoria's a good side. You're not
And
wrong.
Sampdoria
Fiorentina's
was
good.
10.
I mean, there's good like mid-table clubs in Italy. I mean, you're not wrong about that. But to say Inter will go far in the Champions League is a big shout.
I mean, they very well could with their defense, their attack.
Who is their defense?
Skriniar, Miranda. They have Also, they have De Vrij coming in on a free too.
Well, I mean, De Vrij's very good, and I think this is time. Inter need to prove everybody wrong. It's simple. Prove a lot of people wrong. Just prove some people wrong. Prove us wrong.
Right, well,
I mean, they're a good side.
Who will finish second in Italy this year?
I think either Inter or Napoli.
Not Roma.
No, they've sold too many key players,
I agree
in
with
my
Lucas.
opinion. And they brought in too many players where I think team cohesion will be not at the best place initially.
I mean, Roma made the semifinals last
season.
But
they sold their best goalkeeper. They brought in like 10 players.
That does say, hey, maybe Inter can make a good run, but right now, as I view them, I don't view them they could get second in the group. It depends who they get, of course, but
I mean, it's hard to judge until the games.
So
are played.
let's say Dortmund play Inter Milan.
I don't know.
Dortmund would smash them.
I wouldn't say that because Dortmund.
Maybe
I'd be close game.
Smash
if it's the same managers and
4-1 over aggregate.
same teams as last season, I say Inter wins. No, I say draw.
No.
I say draw. I say
I'm
draw.
No.
Yeah, because Dortmund.
I'm saying in a group stages thing.
I'd say draw. Yeah.
Nah.
I mean, maybe this season Dortmund look really good right now. So
No, Dortmund is a better team all
I
around.
think I'm gonna get Dazzling Sports. I gotta look at this.
All right. Well, there's one more thing I want to talk about. Liam,
Yes.
you were in an interesting situation on Friday. I saw a news article saying that some guy came in with pepper spray
Yes.
to your place where you work.
I was bear sprayed. I was punched in the face.
You want to talk about this story?
I mean, sure. I mean, it doesn't
Right,
really
explain in
doesn't really
detail.
affect our topic, but sure, yeah. But these guys were trying to steal from the store, so we were all like watching them, and we were like, they tried to get out. We blocked them. And yeah, they bear sprayed us, and the one guy punched me in the side of the face. I tackled him, and then I was kicking him, and the one guy, they tackled him outside, and they were just beating the hell out of him, and then the cops showed up, and they arrested the one guy. The other guy took off, but yeah, that was my Friday. I lost my glasses. They broke. Had to get new ones.
Oh, they look very nice.
There's someone out there that doesn't believe you.
Who?
Aiden Stannard.
What do you mean?
He doesn't believe the story.
I mean,
He doesn't believe you got involved.
I definitely did. I can tell you that for a fact. Like, it was on the news.
I was on White Ave on Friday night with my cousin. We were having a good. I was fine. I was not intoxicated. I had 2 beers. I saw Billy Talent, and we just were hanging out. And then we run into Aiden Stannard, and he's just. I don't know what he was on. He's like, I don't believe Liam Peace. I don't know. It was a lie.
Okay, Aiden, I'll give you this exact. I'll retell the story more detail for you. So they were filling up their cart with a bunch of steaks and a bunch of baby food and everything like that. It came out to about $450 worth of like products.
Is this normal to see?
Oh yeah, this is probably once a week it happens.
Okay. Wait,
Yeah,
a
but-
robbery?
Not to this extent,
Okay.
but like they tried to.
No,
the highest I've ever.
You see prices like that usually.
The highest I've ever stopped was $1,700.
Oh wow.
But that guy was just chill. He just walked out.
Was he trying to rob?
He was.
No, I'm
What
saying.
they do is they
you
fill-
see people usually spending that much at a grocery store.
Like
Was
just
it-
like buying.
Yeah, like $450. Do you ever see that?
I mean,
Or is this-
sometimes.
Only if it's a big family, but
Yeah.
usually at grocery stores, maybe it's like 100 to 200.
Yeah,
No,
I
but the
mean,
thing
like-
is, like,
yeah, okay.
like you can tell who's gonna steal.
Yeah.
You can tell by what they're putting in their stuff.
It's
Like,
usually like steaks and stuff.
steaks, roasts, baby formula, baby food, stuff that they can resell, right? So we saw them and we knew off like immediately they're not gonna buy this stuff. So we have a fire exit door by our post office. Usually a lot of people try to get out there because it's always open because it's a fire exit. It's not locked. So I stood there and I watched from there, and they started making their way to the front entrance. And then when they came around, we have a system where the cart locks up if they go through the door. So the cart locked up, they panicked. My manager came from behind them to grab the cart full of stuff to bring it back in. I was in front trying to block them to stay in the store. And the one guy took out the can of bear spray and sprayed like the entire room, and like me and the guy behind them in the face. And then the second guy rushed me. He goes to punch me, hit me in the side of the head. I tackle him into a display of water. Wow. And then yeah, I let go of him, and then I kicked him in the side of the knee on his way out. So he took off, but the second guy was the guy they caught outside. And yeah, they were just beating the hell out of him. And then yeah.
Wow.
So standard. Naff off.
Naff off. Where does that come from?
That's Scottish. I don't know. I've always thought it was pretty common. I don't know.
So wait, how did it feel getting bear spray into your
It
eyes?
hurt a
Really?
lot.
Yeah, I heard
Like-
bear spray is really bad.
Like the punch was, I didn't even feel the punch after the bear spray. Like it was because like pepper spray hurts, but this is like pepper spray times 10. Like, it's way more potent and strong. It hurt a lot. And, like, the room that it was in, like, the front lobby area, they had to keep it open for, like, an hour, just, like, getting the air out because it was so strong. But, yeah, they had to evacuate the store for a little bit, and it was an interesting Friday.
I was hoping to see you on the news.
Well, they didn't. We're not allowed, technically, to do interviews.
Oh, okay. Well,
This isn't really an interview. I'm doing it for the news.
Oh.
We're not allowed to.
Why?
I don't know. It's just company policy. I don't know.
Oh, shoot.
But it's okay.
Okay.
I'm more than okay talking about it. I don't really
questions
care. What do you want to ask?
Later after the show.
Okay.
Involves school.
Okay.
Okay, well, I think we should finish off there.
That was an interesting end of the show, but yeah, it's been a very heated show in parts.
I mean, I think you trigger us a little.
I think Waz and me trigger you.
Yeah, well, I mean, Celtic shite.
I don't know what we've done to deserve this.
Great culture, but they're not Champions League quality, let's be honest.
All right, so thank you for watching the show today.
Actually.
What would have happened, do you think, if Big Sam managed England?
He did. Oh,
if he had the World Cup, because
they probably get out of their group, but they'd probably not do too well.
Yeah, the thing is, I liked how Big Sam was running it, but I think Gareth Southgate was being a really good appointment for the culture, not only the team.
Good old Big Sam.
I like him.
All right, so thank you for watching this episode today.
Yeah,
we had many discussions from transfers to arguments to Liam's bear spray incident.
Alphonso Davies.
Funny. Ferguson thought Big Sam was going to do well, but
I think he would do well too.
Here's the thing: I don't really know because Ferguson thought David Moyes was going to do really well, and that kind of just
yeah. He could have done well. But yeah, links are down in the bio for all of our Instagrams and everything, and Twitter's personal and 90th minute.
YouTube, depending where you're listening.
Yeah. We're trying to do lots on social media, so get involved there, create a conversation with us. We'd love to talk about something on the next show. Let us know what you think of the show itself and the topics we're covering. And for myself, Liam, Lucas, and Waz, and the 90th minute as a team, thank you for watching. This has been another week in the beautiful game. See ya.